Everybody, welcome to my brand new tour I'm going to do now. Alice in Wonderland, and looking at the Mitre pub just opposite, because that's quite an important part of the Alice in Wonderland story. So for those of you who don't know, hello. Lewis Carroll was originally called Charles Dodgson, and he was born in 1832 and he lived until 1898. And he was an undergraduate of Christ Church College, and he stayed there all his life. He became a maths teacher in 1851, and he stayed there his whole life. And then there's another important character is Henry Liddell, who was the dean, and the father of Alice Liddell, who the story is written for. So, let's go back. Sorry about all the buses and noise. So Lewis Carroll was born in Cheshire, the eldest boy of 11 children. He graduated and became a lecturer in mathematics. Lewis Carroll included himself in the book of Alice in Wonderland. He made himself a dodo, which is an abbreviation of Dodgson, which was his real name. Alice Liddell, the little girl who was the dean's daughter, she was born in 1852 and she lived until 1934. She married a Christ Church graduate in 1880, had 3 boys. Hello. I'm just talking about Lewis Carroll, thank you. 2 of which died in the war. Mary Pricklet, I hope you can hear me all right over all this noise. Maybe I should turn this up. Hope that's better. Mary Pricklet was Alice's governess, the real Alice, who the book was based on. And it's claimed... Oh, great, thank you. It's claimed that Mary Pricklet was who Lewis Carroll based the Red Queen on. And after she got married, she ran this pub opposite here, the Mitre, for 50 years until her death. And the Mitre used to be an old stagecoach. That's where all the stagecoaches met, and you could have caught a coach there, coach and horses in those days, to London or anywhere else. So next we're going down to find where the Mad Hatter's sewing room was. So Thomas Randall of Grand Point House, the tailor who preferred to be known as the Hatter, became the mayor in 1859. So just as a note as well, the Mitre in there also is quite famous for Inspector Morse series, and it was the 13th century that it was on the stop. So Mary Prickett, Alice's governess, was, hello Bubba 4143, was who Carroll based the Red Queen on, and she was the landlady when she got married there. So now we're going to try and find Thomas Rundell's house, who was based... Hiya. And Thomas Rundell was a tailor and a hatter, and his shop was 22 the High Street. I have no idea where this is, so you're exploring with me. So we'll just go down here and I can tell you the things we pass on. Thank you for the hearts, whoever. Thank you, because I know I still got you. So I seem to be tuned into some random stagecoach network at the moment. So we're going to go and find the Hatter's house, and then we're going to look at the old bank, and then we're going to look around Christchurch Meadow, River Cherwell, the River Thames, which is named the Isis as it goes through, and also we can learn some more about Lewis Carroll. So just to show you what we're walking past now, so there is St Mary's Church ahead of us, and that's the official university church. And Oxford's inspired so many writers. Thank you both for these hearts. Oxford's inspired so many writers. So I'm just looking for number 22. So we're looking for number 22, the High Street. Lots of these things haven't got their numbers on. So, 104, so we're still a way off. I'm surprised we haven't passed it. So, going to go on to, it's quite busy today. Hope I haven't missed it. If not, the Hatter only had his shop there. I can show you where his house was. He had the most amazing house, so I can show you that anyway. So he was a real character who Lewis Carroll based him on. It's so busy today. You've got to watch out for cyclists. So this is the Old Bank Hotel here, and this is to do with Lewis Carroll as well. The Old Bank Hotel. This is 92 to 94, the High Street. So we must. It's a long way off till we find the thing. This is where Lewis Carroll banked when it was a bank. It's now a hotel. It changed into a hotel in 1999. And Lewis Carroll was quite a generous person. They can see what he spent his money on, and he spent a lot of money for disadvantaged women. But also, on the 5th of August 1873, he just had £5, which was quite a lot of money in those days, and the only information he had on it was that it was for the Hatter. So we're still looking for number 22 to find out where the Hatter's shop was. So as you can see, it's quite big, the Old Bank Hotel. It's quite big. Oh, to show you all these cakes as we go past. Oh, cakes. I love cakes. So we carry on. We're going past the exam school on this side. I can't take you in there because you're not allowed in there. Member of the public aren't allowed in the exam school, so only students who are passing their exams. So all the hearts have stopped. Are you still there? I lost you. I should carry on because you can watch it on the replay. It may jump a bit. Hello. Hatter must be mad because of the distance. Yes. Very funny. So this is University College, that one. And oh look, we must be getting nearer. That says 38 over there. Hello, welcome to the Alice in Wonderland tour. It's a walking tour, and it's quite far apart. Ahead of us on this side, that's Queen's College, with the Queen in the middle. And this is the back door of University College. There's 38 colleges in all. Lewis Carroll attended. Hello. Lewis Carroll went to Christchurch College, which I will take you around, and I'll show you where he spent his days as well. The bell's ringing. Thank you for the hearts, because I know you're there and I don't give up. I'll be quiet so you can hear the bells. Oh well, that was that. It's 2 o'clock, of course. Hello, welcome, Tommy. So we must be getting near 22, no 86. Wow, it's a long way. But we're coming this way anyway because we're going to take you to the Botanic Gardens. So those of you who are Alice in Wonderland fans, as I am, will know that Lewis Carroll was a very keen photographer, and all of his photography equipment is actually in the History of Science Museum on Broad Street near the Tourist Information Centre. So that's the exam school, got that in there. So, obviously he took a lot of pictures of Alice Liddell, who's a little girl, and his sisters, and he used to take them on rowing trips. And this is Ruskin School of Art, number 74. Maybe I got the number wrong, maybe it's 122. I think we're going to run out of roads. Do you want to get them out? Thank you. So, there's a really interesting shop about pens and game shop up here. We're going this way anyway, so okay. So this is the game shop. Yeah, the chess. That is very Alice in Wonderland. the chess. Oh, that one's got octopuses on it. And a pen shop. Okay. More cake shops. A lot of coffee shops in Oxford. What's this number? 65. So ahead of us, you can see on this side, I was periscoping in there yesterday. That's Merton College. It's really, really beautiful. And there's the tower where they have, on May Day, they have choir singers right at the top, and everybody queues down here to. What's this? Yes, I want to some tea and cake afterwards. Well, I don't know when number 22 is, but don't worry. I'll have to find the shop another day. Do some more research. But I can show you where he lived, which is far more impressive than his shop. So ahead of us is the tower again, and so they have the singing there, and then they throw hot cross buns from the top for the people waiting down below. It's an old ceremony. A few years ago they stopped people jumping in the water afterwards. So we're coming up now to the Botanic Gardens. Botanic Gardens was built in 1621, and it's the oldest botanic garden in Britain, and I have periscoped there. I'll go again if you want me to another day. It's a former Jewish cemetery, and in 1860 Lewis Carroll was here meeting very important people because there was a celebration and a debate of the evolution held at the new Museum of Natural History, because it was 1 year after Darwin's original Origin of the Species came out. And as I say, Carroll was a keen photographer, and he photographed the most important individuals, and so his photo equipment, hello, welcome, is in the history of science. So I am out of breath already. Thank you for sharing. So just take you through this rose garden, because as you know, roses feature in Alice in Wonderland quite a lot, and nobody's actually said it, but hi, nobody's actually made the connection. But as Lewis Carroll came here, and well, thank you, I'm just talking about Alice in Wonderland, it would make sense that this rose garden inspired him to do the famous scene with the decks of cards painting the roses, the white roses, red. Hello, Colleen! I'm talking about Alice in Wonderland, which is my favourite book. And I'm just outside the Botanic Garden, the historic Botanic Garden. And thank you for whoever's doing those hearts, because I know you're still there. And I'm just saying, there's no actual... Hello, my friend, yes. There's no actual tie that I can find. But this rose garden, we know Lewis Carroll came here a lot. He would have walked through this rose garden, which is like little mazes, and this is free to the public, by the way, this little rose garden. And it makes sense to me that this is where he would have got the idea for, you know, the Red Queen shouting at people. So quaint, yes. You know, paint those roses, it smells wonderful. Paint the white roses red, which is probably one of my favourite bits of Alice in Wonderland. No roses there for some reason. I wish you could smell this. I say that every time, but I wish you could smell this, because it just smells absolutely awful. Hello, Astrid. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm doing a tour around Oxford of the Alice in Wonderland stories in Lewis Carroll, and because he went to Christ Church College, which I'm going to take you in a minute, and he went to Christ Church College, and Alice, who he based Alice on from Alice in Wonderland, was a real little girl, and he wrote the stories for her originally, because he used to take her and her sisters with the governess out hire a boat and take them out on the river, and he would make up stories. to amuse the children. He was a teacher, a maths teacher in Christchurch, but he was a really interesting character. He made a lot of puzzles and things of his own imagination, which he kept in his room for the, which is quite an unusual thing for a math teacher to do. He's a keen photographer, and he took loads and loads of photos, and all his equipment, we have that. And also in the Museum of Oxford, they've also got quite a lot of his things, like chess set and playing cards, and also quite a few things of Alice's as well. So I will take you in there one day, but I've been thrown out of there once already for filming, so I'm going to have to film sneakily if I go there another day. But I want to take you to Christchurch today and show you where Lewis Carroll lived out his days after he came here. Obviously fell in love with the place. Not from here. Can't type easy, so we'll just listen. Okay. Hello, Anne. Hello. Thank you for the hearts. I know you're there. I'm slightly worried I'll lose you when we go around here. So now we're coming into the playing fields at Christchurch. You quite often see them out in their cricket whites here playing cricket, the students. And the reason Alice and Lewis Carroll would have walked here probably daily, Alice and her sisters and the governess, of course, they didn't walk unattended, and so Lewis Carroll would meet them, and because of course the real Alice's father was the Dean of Christchurch, and so she got to play in the Christchurch gardens, which I'll show you. But I just want to show you the River Cherwell. The River Cherwell runs into the River Thames, and this is the Botanic Garden on this side. Botanic Garden on this side, and Christchurch Meadows on this side. And ahead is the River Cherwell. And as you see, there's punting going on. Fascinating, yes. And they would have hired boats, probably not punting boat, rowing boats, and travelled around here. And in fact, Alice planted a tree with her sister along here, in honour of Albert, the Prince of Wales, who had marriage to Alexandra of Denmark, and later he became Edward VII. And that was on June the 7th, 1863, the Prince and the Princess stayed at Christchurch, and as Edward had been an undergraduate there, and they played croquet with the girls. And Lewis Carroll also played croquet with Alice. So that sort of, there's that famous bit in the book where Alice is playing croquet with a flamingo and a hedgehog. So sort of based on that. So you can see where he got his inspiration from as you walk around. I mean, there's been loads of other authors like Philip Pullman, who went to Exeter College, and of course there's loads of Harry Potter references all over Oxford. So what you're looking at now is Christchurch Meadow, Christchurch Meadow, and Lewis Carroll kept quite a good diary, and we know he walked around this meadow a lot because he's written it down. And also, it would have looked pretty much the same as it looks today. And usually there's some English longhorn cattle in the fields. So hopefully there'll be some today so I can show you them. They're really pretty. They're sort of a bit shabby with horns, a bit dopey looking, very English, but there doesn't seem to be any here today, unfortunately, for me to show you, so you just have to take my word on it. And maybe some a bit further on. No, I can't see any. Little baby screaming its head off there. Oh, wait a minute, there they are. They're on the other side. Maybe. There's like... My eyesight's so bad. Oh no, those are bales of hay. Probably went to have a cup of tea. Being proper and English and everything. Anyway, I promised to show you the Hatter's house. So that's down here. It's a bit of a way. But there's a nice view of Christchurch as we're walking along. That's the cathedral part, which was built on originally a Saxon site. And the cathedral, of course, makes it a city. A city's only classified in England if it has a cathedral. And so, I don't know how churches become cathedrals. It's not that big, actually. Hello, thank you very much, William, for sharing this. I'm sorry there's so much gaps in between everything. I'm a bit out of breath. I'm quite old, I'll show you. I've got my walking boots on, but I wanted to show you Alice's garden because it's not actually open to the public. You just have to peer in with those people appearing over there. Oh, Colleen, did I lose you? Oh dear, welcome back. I'm just about to show you the rectory garden, which isn't open to the public, but it's where Alice and her sisters would have played. Because her father was the Dean of Christchurch. So it's a little diversion. The Alice fitness routine. You're hilarious. Yeah. Oh, brilliant. This bit along here is called Deadman's Walk. I don't know why, but still laughing about that last joke. So I'm just going to sneak up here, show you this, then we'll go down the avenue, Treed Avenue, to the river, and I'll show you where the Hatter's house was. Everybody wants to see the Mad Hatter. Oh, wait a minute, it's bells. I always stop for the bells. By the time I stop, they've stopped. So it's just past 2 o'clock here. Thank you for all these hearts. I know you're still with me. So here we are. I'm going to sneak through. So this is the rectory garden. Wow. So can you imagine playing here as a little child? And see over there, there's a chestnut tree. And apparently that's where he got the idea to have the Cheshire Cat sitting in the chestnut tree and smiling down at Alice. So that's where that came from. But he didn't actually invent the character because there was already a saying. He was originally born in Cheshire, and there was already a saying to smile like a Cheshire Cat was already being used in Cheshire anyway. It's a lovely view of the cathedral there. So it's Ulster. So we're going to go on now. I think I pretty much caught my breath, and I'll show you the river and the Hatter's house. So thank you all for keeping up with me. Are you all as worn out as I am? Oh, did you? Oh, William. Darn. It's a shame. You'll have to watch the replay. I just was showing you where the Treasure's Cat's tree was and the rector's garden. So hopefully it will show on the replay. It's a lovely tree here too. We're just coming around to the back of Christchurch, and this is where all the people come in if they want to look around the dining hall and everything. So a lot of students here today. The weather's so much better than it has been. Still looking for those long-heeled cows. No sign of those. So I'm not sure about the clouds. No sign of the cows. So this is the back of Christchurch, as you can see. There's 38 colleges that make up Oxford University, so this is just one of them, probably the most famous, probably because of the Harry Potter stories. But Harry Potter wasn't actually filmed here. It was just taken as an influence. So, I mean, we know that for sure because for all Harry Potter fans know there are 4 houses in Slytherin and everything else like that. And there's only 3 long tables in the actual dining hall. And this is people queuing now to get in.
All of those languages that sound like Spanish are like silver.
And more queuing to get in. So,
Italian is just French.
so we're going to go down here, down this tree arch. And these trees were actually planted, well, I don't suppose he did plant them, but he paid for them and organised it. It was the Dean, Alice's father, originally planted these trees. So it's quite awesome really, isn't it? Living history. When you think about it, the trees are here still and they would have been tiny little things when Alice skipped along here looking at the long-hauled cows which have all vanished and they're all alive still and very young still because of course trees live for a very long time, so they'll be here when you come and visit, Colleen. And when your grandchildren come and visit, they're still going to be here in 100 years time. So it's a nice thing. It's quite a long walk though, sorry about that. We're walking towards the River Thames, which changes its name when it goes through Oxford to the Isis. Hello, Reiki Love Bubble. So neat, yeah. I'm just doing a tour of Alice in Wonderland and Lewis Carroll. He went to the college behind me, you can't see it because of all the trees, but we're going to go back to that. Just taking you down to the river to show you the Mad Hatter's house. The Mad Hatter was a real person, he was a hatter. Trees are great. Oh, that's so true, trees are so great. Hey, beautiful morning. Your kids would love this. Yeah. So one magpie. Oh, salute the magpie. So, oh, there's another one. Is that a squirrel? No, another one. My eyesight's so bad. Good morning, lots of laughs. So normally there is some lovely old longhorn English cattle in these fields, but they don't seem to be there today. Oh, do they? Wait a minute, I see them, they're lying down. Can you see? Hello, Colleen, thank you for sharing that. You see the English longhorn? They're laying down. I'll try and zoom in. You see these sort of lumps? I don't know how you draw, but there they are, there's 3 there. It's just sort of lying down. Or maybe they're not. My eyesight's so bad, they could actually be stones. But this is their water trough. So they are usually here. So, must have been partying last night. Oh, I don't drink. I just got really bad eyesight. So, years ago, just at the bottom here, there would have been loads of really ornate, large barge-type boats. This is in the time of Lewis Carroll was here. No, the cat. Oh, the cattle. Yeah. And the large barge. Later. The large barges would have been used as they're not there now because the boats people have got clubhouses, but they would have been used for the rowers to get changed in. All of the 38 colleges have their own rowing team, and it's all taken very seriously. So there were rowers in Alice's time, and she probably would have come down here with her governess and watched the rowers. So, and also, this is I'm going to show you where the boats are hired from. There's a very old family firm that's still running the boats here in Oxford called Salters, and it used to build the boats and hire them out, but now it just hires them, and it also does day trips down to Abingdon, which is, I don't know, about 12 miles down on the river, which is quite nice, quite reasonable. I think it's about £12. So you can spend a day going down the river. So we're coming down here now because I want to show you Hatter's house. We're very nearly there. Sorry, it's such a long walk. I need roller skates. I hope you can see it because I just noticed that the trees have grown since I was here last. So whoa, trees have grown immensely. So see this white bridge here? It's quite, see the white bridge? Behind that is the Hatter's house. I'll just get, hang on, I'll sort of zoom in and you can see. See? So there it is, the Hatter's house right on the water. It's really, really unusual house because it's built, you can always imagine it. Yes. Underneath the white bridge there, because it's set back from that, the house has actually got tunnels. It's built over water with tunnels on it. So, and it's got a proper name. So I'll sit down for a minute because I'm a bit out of breath. And I'll read, oh no, I can read it as we're going back. So that's Hatter's house. We've still got some more things to do. And this is the River Thames with the ducks. And that's Salters, where you can hire the boat over there. I'm going to zoom back out. Yeah, there you go. So, hello Flatfish Tuna. You're just in time to see the Hatter's house. It's over there behind the trees. And so, in the mid-19th century, this would have been lined with all college boats. Hi. Which acted for, oh, Tony's here too. Hi, Tony. Acted as changing room for the oarsmen, and still today they have rowers of 8s coming up here, and this is the turning point. They turn round here. So Carroll hired rowing boats to take the children down the Thames, and he would think up of stories to entertain them. And so Hatter's house is called, if you want to Google it and get a better picture, Grand Point House. And Alice, Colleen too. Hi Colleen. Jane doesn't know I'm Tony. Oh, I didn't know you were Tony. I know there's Tony London. I didn't know you were Tony as well. Flatfish Tuna. I always call you Flatfish Tuna. So if you want to Google about Alice's house later, it's Grand Point House, spelled Grandpont house. And Alice was a frequent visitor there with her sisters. And it's a 3-storey Georgian house built in 1785. It's built on arches and the river flows underneath it. And it was home to Thomas Randall, who liked to be called the Hatter. And he had a shop in town, but we couldn't find that. We couldn't find the shop. And the Hatter owned a dog called Rover, and Alice was allowed to take it for a walk with her sisters as a special treat. Yes, he had an amazing imagination. Amazing. So Salters was operating, Salters the boat people, was operating, as it is now, from 58. And still a family business, still in the family. So that's really nice. So if you come, you must have a ride on a boat. So like I say, this lime tree walk that we're walking along now was constructed by Alice's father, the Dean of Christchurch, in 1872. And we're going up to Christchurch again now. And so, as I said, Lewis Carroll was an undergraduate from 1951 to 1954, and that's when he passed. He got a first degree in mathematics and a third degree in classics. And Henry Liddell, Alice's father, you need some oxygen. I do need some oxygen. Henry Liddell, Alice's father, was dean in 1855. So, and cake and tea, yeah, and cake and tea. So what we're going to hopefully show you when we get into the college is the stained glass window. There's stained glass windows. When I went there last time, I managed to find the ones that had Alice in Wonderland and all the characters from Wonderland. But apparently there's another one where Alice's sister is depicted as St. Margaret after her sudden death, aged 22. I don't know what St. Margaret looks like because I'm not into all the saints, so if anybody knows their saints, chip in. So also we'll hope to see a portrait of Henry Liddell, the Dean, Alice's father, and Lewis Carroll, and that should be right when we enter the entrance hall. Oh, and also, I'm telling you all this now in case I forget, we're heading into Christchurch, that's where we're going. So, also, there's loads of things that could have inspired so many saints, so little time. I'm going to flip it round to talk to you for a second.